Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Latched Mama podcast. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, the Latched Mama podcast is a podcast for mothers, parents, anybody who wants to listen to two people talk about motherhood in the middle of the summer in a room with no air conditioning today. Hi.
You're listening to Latched Mama podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Wirt, busy mom of 6 and owner of LatchedMama.com. Join us each week as we talk about pregnancy, breastfeeding, postpartum, and all things motherhood.
Can I tell you guys want to hear a really funny story? I'm going to tell a funny story really fast. So Kennedy is our podcast. I don't know, director. I don't know what he is. He's Kennedy. He's been with us. Kennedy. He is the longest lasting Latched Mama employee. He is still here with us, and we. Am I
behind him?
Yeah,
I think I'm second.
We love him dearly. But my laptop went missing about 3 weeks ago. Kind of a big deal. And it randomly popped up on my phone about 2 weeks ago. And so I called the police because I didn't know who lived at said house, and it was nowhere near any place I had been. And all I wanted was my laptop back. It has the acknowledgments part of my book in it, and I've been working on it for like months. And it's like one of those like vulnerable parts of the book that like I can't do every day, especially not in a hot room like this. But I wanted my laptop back. And so I called the police and filed a report and wanted them to go knock on the door of said place where they said my laptop was. So they did. And they came back and they told me that nobody there had my laptop, whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. So I haven't bought a new one. I've been working off of a Chromebook here because I really hadn't emotionally let go of the fact that it was gone. And it's just a little MacBook Air. No big deal. But I also really hadn't admitted to the fact that I needed to start locking things in life. I don't lock things in life.
Did you really think it was stolen? Because you were like, it was on
Here's the deal.
The couch.
I thought it was stolen just because it had pinged at some random location where I did not know anybody lived there. And I was like, there's no way that my phone would be on this Stigall Road address. And I called our cleaners here and asked them to check their HR records. I didn't even think to check our HR records because I'd never in a million years would have ever thought. When you say
HR records, what is that?
Check addresses to make sure that nobody lives where this computer is pinging.
Gotcha.
And I didn't check ours because nobody here is going to steal a laptop.
Yeah.
Well, Kennedy walked into my office today to film this podcast episode, and his bag started beeping because my computer had found its way back home. So Kennedy has had it in his bag. When the police came to his house, his girlfriend was in the shower. And I believe they asked them if they had a teacher's laptop. A teacher had lost her laptop. So way to go, Chesterfield County Police, for getting the story exactly correct about what I did for a living and my company name. Because Kennedy probably would have said he didn't have a teacher's laptop because I'm not a teacher. So I'm not 100% sure if Kennedy even had been home, whether the laptop would have gotten back to me with the police.
We're looking for a laptop that belongs to Latched Mama.
Yeah.
He might be like,
probably would have thought
let me check my bag.
Anyways, long story short, I'm very happy right now because my laptop is back. My acknowledgments chapter can be continued. Everything is wonderful in life. I think it's hilarious. So Eric's going to give me such a hard time.
Maybe you should put all that writing stuff on like the drive.
It's fine. Yes, maybe. But Eric has asked me about 1,000 times. He has made me believe in life that everybody is good at heart. And he's like, Melissa, what is the percentage that somebody really stole your laptop? And he was trying to convince me that I knew somebody who lived at that address. And I told him there's no way I know anybody who lived at that address. Well,
if you had rolled up to that address, you would have been like,
guys,
I know exactly who has
lives
this.
at that address. And it was in his bag. But it is back. So I will continue not locking my car or my house. So please do not come steal anything. Okay. Anyways, we are on to summertime. How was your July 4th?
My July 4th was hot. I was still in Orlando.
Oh, yeah. You went to Orlando.
My son had
for
a
the
tournament. Melissa asked me multiple times if I was taking my kids to Disney parks. And that just about gave me a heart attack.
Sorry.
We did not. It felt like, I think heat index was like 106, 107. So we nixed that pretty quick. But it was fun. My older son actually went with a buddy to Epcot for the day.
So you didn't tell me that. That's fun.
Yes. So he wanted to go hang out, be social. So he went with a teammate there, and then we took littles with my parents. We went to this little museum of illusions. Don't know. I looked up all kinds of things.
You were in Orlando and you went to a museum of illusions.
The kids picked it out. And then we went over to the little aquarium, which they loved. And then we ate lunch. And then they really begged to go home. And they slept for 2 hours.
That's amazing.
And we were not even outside. So
that is great. Riddle me this. This is a debate we're having in our house right now. And it is wild because I never would expect it to be a debate in our house.
Okay.
Is going to Disney like a rite of passage in childhood?
No.
That is my answer. But did you know my husband's
what
answer?
What is a rite of passage? That's like
is Disney one of those things that you like put a checkbox by on like childhood experiences? No. See, it's not for me either.
100% no.
It's
I
for
think
Eric.
that's adding to the parental load of
exactly.
comparison.
But it is wild to me because Eric is the last person on the planet that I ever would think that I would stand in the kitchen with and he'd say, we really need to figure out when we're going to Disney as a family.
I would think so too.
Like,
what else is on his list? What else is on this rite of passage list?
I have no idea, but I am guys, you got to understand, this man buys his clothes at Walmart and like literally has like 4 shirts, 4 pairs of shorts, like watches every single dollar our family spends. Okay. And he wants to know
did he go as a child
going to Disney? I guess so.
I've
asked him about it a couple of times, but I'm always so mind blown that we're even having the conversation because you know who has to plan it. It's going to be me. So I looked at him and I said, if you think this is important, I'm not going to be able to stomach it. It feels like a lot of money to go walk through like asphalt. Apparently it's magical and it's wonderful. And Disney does
would you like to see in pictures? Job. It doesn't look magical to me. It looks like a lot of lines and whatnot, and you can do that 45 minutes away right here.
Yeah, but it's wild too. You know what also intimidates me? Because we're looking to go on a cruise at some point this summer. So I've literally found the end of the internet with cruises, and I am tired. But I did realize that there are ways to finagle a little bit into a Disney cruise where it does match with the amount of people in our family. It gets much closer to like a Royal Caribbean or something. And so I was like, can we just do a Disney cruise? And he said, no, it doesn't. It doesn't negate the fact that he would like to go as a family to the parks at some point. It's wild. It must be a childhood thing. I asked his mother about it and she really couldn't give me much. So I don't know.
So I asked my mom because she took us when we first moved here.
Okay.
And
how old were
we
you?
were 7 and 9.
Okay.
And most of what my mom remembers, because to me that's still kind of in the trenches. Even though you don't have littles, you still have a 7-year-old that is going to whine and complain and they're hot and all that. She said, all I remember were the crowds and the heat, because we did not go like off season. The crowds, the heat, children in strollers crying. That's what she remembers. But back then, all the characters roamed freely. It was all out there. Yeah. These days,
so that's what
half
I was gonna
the
say.
rides you can't even get on unless you get in a queue in the morning, which I learned. And all the characters you got to pay extra to meet and greet. I don't think
let's not. There are people who take Disney very seriously because unless we're 100% sure that you have to pay for the meet and greets, let's not say you have to pay for the meet and greets.
A lot of them you do. I won't say all of them.
So here's the deal. I think what's happening, and I think this happened a little bit with our clothing line too at some point. It gets very complicated. Like I started a little bit. This is what I was going to say a second ago. I'm sorry, guys. My brain is hot right now. Like I started doing a little bit of a dive into Disney cruises. And I started getting really overwhelmed. Like people wait up until midnight the night before you're like 60 or 90 days out. So because that's when you can book meal times and all of this stuff.
Oh, gosh,
I was like, there's no way if I want to go on a cruise in the next 60 days, I'm going to be able to figure out all the tips and tricks of this Disney cruise.
You don't have to do
that. The same thing for the parks though. And I think that's why there's like travel agents and stuff, but there's like wristbands, I think, and like fast queue lines, and you have to sign up for, and then the meals and the character breakfast, like, but I feel like it's getting to the point where to me, it's not as easy as we're going to Disney. And that's what I told Eric last night. It's like, Eric, it's going to be a full-time job trying to set a budget and plan which is why I'm sure that there's Disney. That's why there's so many people who like do that for a living and stuff, and they get discounts and whatever. But
And I think you can do Disney 2 different ways, which is kind of the little bit that I got introduced this past trip, because some of these families purchased a 4-pack to parks. Some did a 1-day park, some on the team. Okay. Well, one family, she's been in this industry. She used to work with all that. So she got discounts and all this, but oh my gosh, she had her app and she had her group together and linked. And she was like, well, these 2 rides, you can't even ride them. You have to get in the queue. It's almost like a
fast pass?
Not an auction, but it doesn't even have fast pass. You have to be selected, kind of like tickets for like the Eras Tour. Okay. You have to actually be selected. So like you can go to these parks and you may not even get to ride these new rides at all. So yeah, so some of these they've kind of moved and switched, and I'm like, at that point, I checked out.
So you're like with me on this, that it is complicated.
Yeah. So some people. So I guess what I was getting at, some people, they go all in. It is a 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. thing. They're there all day. They get their money's worth. They're all in, whatever. Then you have the other people that get, I think you can do the hopper pass. So like I talked to another family when they had little kids. Well, we would just go from like 10 to 12 and then go back to our place for lunch. And we'd go back at like 4:30 and just walk around. But it's like, what are your expectations? Are you doing rides? Are you just walking and socializing and looking at things?
Is this what we were supposed to talk about today?
I have no idea, but it's hot, and I think this is where we landed. But I look at that, and I'm like, no. Like, all I'm thinking about is getting 6 kids prepped. Like, how do you do that?
Where do you sit? Do you sit on a bench?
I don't know.
You sit on a bench, and then, like...
I don't know. But at least on a cruise ship, I have a lounge chair, and I have food, like, 100 feet over there.
I can't do it. I'm sure it's wonderful. And please come tell us about all of the wonderful Disney memories you have. But what I do want to say is that Disney does things well. So like, I don't think this is a result on Disney. I think that they have figured out that moms will go deep dive into things and try to be the first and the best and do all of the things and do all of the effort. It's just a lot for me to think about bringing 7
And let me add, we've always said, do you. If it's your thing and you love it, do it. I think it's fantastic. And if it's not, it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
So,
but if somebody could tell me why my husband thinks that we need to go, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm confused on the whole rite of passage.
Sounds a little. I mean, I use that term. He would like to go as a family at some point, but we're like missing our window. I don't know how far you can push that upper thing.
See, I think if I were to go to Disney, and this is what I've said to Matt before, I want to go with high schoolers and college kids.
Okay.
I think that's more enjoyable. They tolerate the heat. We can wait in line for food or whatever. They want to go do like the ride stuff. I think I could do that.
And I think a lot of this too is us sitting in a hot room in Virginia, not remembering that Disney is an expert at their craft. Like people say that the difference between like getting on a Disney cruise ship and like a Royal Caribbean cruise ship is like Nordstrom's and Macy's. Like apparently it's amazing. The food is great. They cater to the kids. Like it's fantastic. So I think we're probably comparing it to like Busch Gardens or King's Dominion, which is what our like frame of reference is. I think we have to remember that Disney is Disney and they're incrable at what they do. So anyways, that's my
good luck with
that question. Thank you. I need to book something sooner than later. But it will not be a theme park.
Okay, what was your 4th like? You guys do parade and all that?
4th is the majority of my children's favorite holiday. They would take July 4th over Christmas, over Easter, over Halloween, over everything.
What do they love?
As a mother, I would take it as well. I think it is one of those low stakes holidays. Like you don't have to get dressed up. The food is all kid friendly. It's all like barbecue and stuff and whatever. Stuff, We also Eric and I grew up in, and we still have a house in like one of the best planned communities in America. And they do literally since the day they started in the 70s, have just done a very, very good job with July 4th. There's a wonderful parade in the morning where 5 of my kids were in it for the swim team, which was great. And then there's a big party at the neighborhood park where the Boy Scouts hand out hot dogs and drinks and face painting and balloon animals and all of that stuff. And then there's games all day at the pool in the afternoon. And then there's fireworks in the evening, but we made reservations at our little like waterfront restaurant in the community. So we brought all of the kids except for the littlest one who my mom stayed home with. My mom doesn't like fireworks. And they got to drink Shirley Temples. It's the one time a year they get a Shirley Temple. And we watched the fireworks. It was fantastic. It was a wonderful, wonderful day.
Nice.
It was great. It's literally always, no matter if things fall apart or not on July 4th, like it is still one of my favorite holidays. I think it's because you can do it in running shorts and a tank top. Right. I mean, you can do it sweaty. You're supposed to be sweaty.
And the pool's generally involved. Yes. At least for us that day. So you get to cool off. And
it was
nice.
It was a really, really good day. I will take July 4th over a lot of other holidays.
Nice.
So what else is left for the summer? See, guys, this is what happens when it's hot. We have the Olympics coming up, guys. I am a very large Olympics fan. Like my life will stop. Like this TV behind us, I don't know if you guys can see it. It will be on all day.
What are you looking forward to watching?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. You know what's really,
will you
really
get into
cool?
the swimming now that you're swimming? Or no?
I will. Yeah, no, I'll get into the swimming. I'll get into the swimming because the kids can watch it and understand it. The kids loved the gymnastics trials, so they're like totally invested in that.
Yeah.
I wish we had a little bit more competition internationally in gymnastics. It's a little. I mean, no, I want our girls. I want our girls to go over there and do amazing, and of course get the gold medal. But I wish it was a little bit more competitive. Swimming is going to be madness and amazing and awesome to watch. Yeah. What else am I excited about?
I like watching the volleyball too.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yes.
Field
hockey. I think the U.S. men's field hockey team might have qualified this year. Kennedy, can you fact check me on that one? I believe maybe not. Maybe the women's did. Yes, men play field hockey, Kennedy. Okay. Yes, that was the face. Men play more field hockey in this world than women do. Do you know that? Yes, it's very big in like Pakistan and India and stuff.
So it's more of like an international.
It's more sport. Of a men's field hockey is more international. Okay. I can't imagine we qualified in men's team, but I think the women did for like the first time in a really long time.
Wait, okay, quick question. This very Olympic-ish. How do teams end up qualifying? Is it in some like a tournament and they have to place? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited to see the new women's soccer team. Like when I say new, it's like 90% new.
New faces.
A lot of people have left. New coach, new everything. Rebuilding. I'm excited about that. I don't know. What is Paris, like 5 hours ahead of us? So it's good timing. It's not like as much middle of the night stuff. Probably none of it is going to be in the middle of our night because that's even going to be more in the middle of their night.
Maybe early morning really things would
guys,
be
I'm
really
like an
early.
Olympics expert. Like I live for every 4 years, especially the summer. I'll watch the winter. I love it, but I love a good backstory. I love a good parents crying in the stands. I love a good everything. I will watch those sappy stories.
So then you watch
NBC. You double down on those stories. I can watch them for hours.
So I guess you obviously watch like the gymnastics trials, and with the Hesley, the 16-year-old, and her parents and her dad.
Yes,
like,
her dad. Oh my God, I was crying. And then Eric's like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like,
the whole time, like
I know.
Just how positive he was and like encouraging, and then he was just in tears.
Yeah, and then like. So it was
and they
really
relocated
funny.
For her to train. Like they all put so much into it.
And she stepped out on her floor routine. And so he was like cheering and he looked at his wife and he was like, that was really good.
It's okay.
And she's like, she stepped out and he's like, it's okay. It was really good. It was really good. Oh my God. It was so adorable. And it's really funny to go from like a kid dreaming to go to the Olympics as like when I was younger to now. Like imagining what it would feel like for a parent to be there. But then I get this third thought of absolutely not. I do not wish that upon my children. So it's all this whole big wild thing of this like psychological thing that goes in like how incredibly proud they must be. But then I just get really sad too because I wonder what is next and like...
Well, and what I think is so incredible, especially in like something like gymnastics, you the window that you have. Now, I know what I love is 3 of those women are over 20, like unheard of. But for the most part, the window that you have to qualify is insane because you have to be a certain age, but then you're either waiting another 4 years. So you're either 16 or you got to make it at 20.
That was the big thing for me when I watched trials because my heart, although I love the fact that the older women are competing, okay? And those women have been through so much shit that they deserve to go back in a healthy environment and to perform and to heal and do all of those things. I mean, Simone Biles thanked her therapist before she thanked anybody else when she made the team. I mean, I'm so happy they're there. But then I also think about those kids who were 6, 7, 8-year-olds, like my little Caroline right now, who's not a gymnast, and they map out their goal of what year they're going to the Olympics. And that's not happening this year because they have 3 veterans who are coming back, who are amazing, who are not exiting the sport. And I think that's okay because I think they're still the best. And like I said, they have been through so much crap at this point that they deserve to be there. But at the same time, it is interesting because there's only 6 if you count the alternate spots every year and then or every 4 years. And I don't know. It's wild.
Well, the team used to be larger and now it's down to 5. The couple alternates, but anyways, sorry guys. Lindi and I could talk about sports all the time. We were also talking about like what there would be. This is kind of corny, but like what Olympic sports could be for moms. Yeah, like if there was like Well, our top one, the top one listed was diapering, and I remember diapering, and I remember having to diaper the twins.
Or so like I would toddler,
I'd lay them like horizontally, and I would swing a leg over on their stomach, and I would get like. Both of them at the same time. But yeah, wrestling diaper time is.
There are a bunch of moms in the Olympics this year. A lot of, surprisingly enough, we looked this up before we talked about it. If you guys are looking for like the most mom-centric team, I wish we could like poll you guys so you guys figure out who it is. It is actually the women's basketball team. Isn't that surprising?
I love it.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
I think they are pretty much older because I think that there was some drama around that because they were like Caitlin Clark should make it because everybody's so old. But a lot of moms on that team. There were like something crazy like 24 moms at the marathon trials. I don't know who made it and whether there's moms there, but that's wild.
That's crazy.
It just shows the strength of a human body, like a female body. Yeah. Go pop a kid out and then go run one of the fastest marathons in the world. It's wild.
And there's no sport that's like easier than the other, but I can see kind of rehabbing postpartum and getting back into basketball, but those sprinting and like I can't sprint anymore. Like your core and kind of those groin muscles. So I think of those marathoners who are running these sub whatever, or these sprinters or hurdlers. Can you get your leg up over a hurdle like postpartum? I don't know, but
it's also wild how many of them run until like 8 or 9 months pregnant too. I mean, so maybe they're just keeping the muscles going in there. It's pretty wild. Women are amazing. We're doing a really fun project too, but we're not going to talk to you about it yet. We're going to wait until maybe it gets some. I don't know. I can't wait to share a picture. I don't know. I'm excited. Lindi and I
we gotta get going on that.
Yeah, but now we're a little Olympic nerds. We're also going on the road, guys. Go check out latchmama.com/pages/pumpspotting. It's
under our community.
Yep. The Pumpspotting app is putting together a bus tour across the nation. You can go check it out at pumpspotting.com. All sorts of different cities. Lindi and I are going to be at a few of them. More details to come on that, but there will be Latched Mama clothes on the bus.
A closet,
a Latched Mama closet
with some goodies and clothes.
All breastfeeding apparel, and so go try it on, touch it for the first times. If you guys haven't bought any, it's really kind of fun. Even if you're not breastfeeding and don't want to buy clothes, it's a wonderful opportunity to build community and get to know other moms. So if the bus is coming to your area, go out and see it and talk to the friendly people at Pumpspotting, or meet us if we're there.
Yeah,
it's quiet, wild.
We'll have a lot more out.
Yeah,
next coming weeks.
Any other goals that you have for the summer that haven't happened yet before your kids go back to school?
Oh my gosh, no. I hope things kind of like slow down a little bit.
I don't know if they're going
I've still yet to really have like a couple hours at the pool with my kids. So one afternoon I'm gonna make that happen. But
it's
I don't
wild.
know.
I feel like
it's so fast.
I keep on thinking that I'm going to get caught back up and that things are going to start feeling normal again, and then they don't.
No, I think it's actually better for me mentally to just accept
So it's like a marathon.
The craziness it is, and knowing that, yes, our schedule will kind of change back into school at some point. But
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
It's
I don't know. What date is it? I don't know.
The
10th?
So for those
ours go back to school for August 20th. So
20th.
we have
That's
like
early this year.
5-6 weeks or something.
It's early.
We still have a couple camps and whatnot.
Oh,
so
I have nothing. Nathan asks me every day to sign him up for soccer camp, and I'm like, I don't want to get you there and to and from. We normally make them each go to a camp a year without a sibling, but we have not done that. Caroline went to 2 days of her soccer camp before she got pneumonia, so might as well just not pay for the money. Anyways. Anything you want to wrap this up with? Anything we were supposed to talk about that we didn't talk about? I don't know. Come see us on the road. Yeah. Watch the Olympics, because we're going to talk more about it. Come see us. If you guys don't, if you guys are not in the Latched Mama Love Facebook group, go join that. We're there all the time. We talk about fun stuff there as well, and we'll have some Olympic watch parties. Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.